families around the world who also have achieved material wealth. So the first level is material. But once that's achieved, and China is now developing this big middle class, lifting hundreds of millions of people out of poverty. The only reason the United Nations achieved their Millennium Development Goals is because of China. That the world is achieving development goals is because of China. And then India ranks as second. But because China has a very good educational system, invests so hard in education, has demographic policies in place, has a great healthcare system, it's able to really lift millions of people out of poverty, changing their livelihoods from a largely agrarian society or subsistence farmers before to a world power in manufacturing, the workbench of the world. And I like to say, there's a Chinatown in every New York city and every US city. It's called Walmart. Turn a product on its head and it's made from China. Everybody has products made from China in front of them. It's just stunning what the output, the raw power of material people determination is. But historically, and you've already outlined that, China was here together with India, leading the world in GDP output. And then we had this long phase, and we're just recovering now, of industrial revolution, gunpowder, machines, etc., that the West really moved the world in economic output. So we shouldn't forget, it's not an emerging, it's a re-emerging China. China had the biggest fleet in the world. China invented gunpowder, magnetism, has a culture for thousands and thousands of years. So in a way, China is going back to the historical normal status that 1.6 billion people in the world should matter a lot. And they have a need for consumption and for growing. So we need to understand, and we can go into details and study more and read books about Chinese culture. One factor is security, and that has been mentioned. If you look at a country's history, cultural revolutions, big changes where wealth was redistributed is a major factor. So address potential security concerns of your clientele, that an asset in the US is secure, that gold is secure, that a home real estate you can touch, feel, and see, and it's secure. And it's safety not for an individual, but for a family. Because after the material, we have social needs. And that's a pyramid from a researcher called Maslow. And his argument would be, you got to eat and you got to have a home over your head. But then you think of your family and acceptance. It's collective. And afterwards, you might call it spiritual, self-accomplishment, you're creative, you look for fulfillment. But you have to look for your material needs first.